This is the final resting place of Henry Fox, born in 1833 in Landkreis, Reutlingen, Baden-Württemberg, Germany. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this YouTube channel via my PayPal. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is the battle map of Jackson, Mississippi. This is courtesy of the Mississippi Department of Archives and History, da.mdah.gov. So on December 23, 1862, the 106th Illinois Volunteer Infantry and Captain Fox found themselves here. General Grant in the Army of Tennessee had just conquered Jackson, and he left the 106th behind to guard the Mobile and Ohio Railroad. And then General Grant took the rest of the army, headed toward Vicksburg. But in late December, Confederate General Nathan Bedford Forrest attacked the works at Jackson. So that's where Sergeant Fox and Company H of the 106th found themselves. So Forrest had Company H pinned down about right here. And so Sergeant Fox crossed the railroad trestle about right here under heavy fire from the Confederates to get reinforcements. The reinforcements came and drove off Forrest, and Fox got the Medal of Honor for his actions. I'm going to leave a link in the description below from the Missouri Department of Archives and History and their presentation on the battle for Jackson, Mississippi. Sergeant Fox died in 1906 in Dwight, Livingston County, Illinois, and he's buried here at Oak Lawn Cemetery, Dwight, Livingston County, Illinois. This is the final resting of Thomas C. Murphy, born in 1844 in Ireland. He is a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this YouTube channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is the battle map of Vicksburg. This is the second attack on Vicksburg that went across the entire 8-mile front. So on May 22, 1863, Corporal Murphy, Company I of the 31st Illinois Infantry, found themselves under the command of Brigadier General John A. Smith's 1st Brigade. The 1st Brigade's task was to attack the 3rd Louisiana Redan, which is right there. The 31st assignment was as sharpshooters for this attack. So, as you can see, this Redan is kind of like in a diamond pattern. So, the 31st was over here on this side as sharpshooters, but over on this side was artillery unit bombarding the Redan. But the problem was they were, like the ones over here, were overshooting their target, and the shells were landing on the 31st on the other side. So Corporal Murphy braved the hail of gunfire from both the Federals and the Confederates to come over here to the artillerymen and said, "Hey fellas, your shells are landing on the 31st on the other side. Cut that shit out." And for this action, Corporal Murphy received the Medal of Honor. I'm going to leave a link to HistoryTube Dan Ackerman's on the Tazewell County Clerk YouTube channel. He went down there and basically did a tour of the 3rd Redan area and the exploits of the 31st Illinois Volunteer Infantry. Corporal Murphy died in 1920 in Biloxi, Harrison County, Mississippi, and he's buried here at Green Valley Cemetery, Green Valley, Tazewell County, Illinois. This is the final resting place of Benjamin W. Shinick, born in 1837 in Butler County, Ohio. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this YouTube channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is a map of the attack on the Stockade Redan during the Battle of Vicksburg. The second attack on the Vicksburg defenses. This is courtesy of CivilWarTalk.com. So, as you can see here, Private Shinick in the 116th with these other units were charged to go attack this wall here on the Stockade Redan, defended by the 36th Mississippi. There are many write-ups that said that this was a diversionary maneuver, but the park ranger down at the Mississippi at the Vicksburg Battlefield Park suggests otherwise, says otherwise. He says that this was a storming party to bring in scaling ladders, an advanced storming party to bring in scaling ladders. But I suspect that the answer is somewhere in the middle. These guys were to come in here, bring in the scaling ladders. The Mississippians would have to expend their first volley shooting at these guys. Now they got to reload. So then the main body of attack would have to come in, scale the ladders, climb the wall, and then start hand-to-hand operations against the Mississippians. So, but what actually happened is that these advanced storming party, they came through this ravine, and they were stuck in this ravine because they were being shot down by the Mississippians. And they were held there all day long. The withering fire wouldn't let them escape. They stayed there until nightfall, when they could finally safely get out of that area. Now, big chunk of the people that were on that attack didn't survive. Shinick was one of them. And for this, he won. He was awarded the Medal of Honor. I'm going to leave a link to the History Saviors vid on the attack on the Stockade Redan, and I'm also going to leave a link to my first video talking about the 116th's involvement on the Stockade Redan. Shinick died in 1916 in Danville, Vermilion County, Illinois, and he's buried here at Greenwood Cemetery, Decatur, Macon County, Illinois. This is the final resting place of Oscar Slagle, born in 1844 in Fulton County, Ohio. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. This is the battle map of the Tullahoma campaign. This courtesy of Wikipedia. on the article on the Tullahoma campaign. I'll leave a link if you want to read the article. It's in entirety. So this entire campaign, Union General Rosecrans brilliantly outmaneuvered Confederate General Braxton Bragg, pushing him out of pushing the Confederate Army out of Tennessee. So on July 2, Slagle and 104th Illinois Volunteer Infantry found themselves right here, and they were tasked for capturing this bridge right here at Elk River. They successfully did that. A couple of days later, Braxton Bragg and his army retreated across the Tennessee River at Chattanooga, never to enter Tennessee again with the Confederate Army. I will leave a link to History Gone Wilder and his animated battle map of the Tullahoma campaign. Corporal Slagle died in 1913 in Cullum, Livingston County, Illinois, and he's buried here at Broughton Township Cemetery, Campus, Livingston County, Illinois. This is the final resting place of Lemuel F. Holland, born in 1840 in Burlington, Lawrence County, Ohio. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this YouTube channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is the battle map of the Tullahoma campaign down around Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So on July 2, Holland and the 104th Infantry found themselves under General Thomas's 15th Corps as they were approaching the Elk River. This is a successful campaign by Rosecrans, Union General Rosecrans, as he battled Confederate General Braxton Bragg, kicking him out of Tennessee. And on top of that, it tied up Union General Rosecrans, tied up Confederate General Braxton Bragg, tied him up so he wouldn't A, go help Lee at Gettysburg, and B, more importantly, go help Pembroke at Vicksburg. So on July 2, they are approaching the Elk River, and Dan Schott of the Starved Rock Civil War Roundtable quotes the regimental history. As they're approaching the Bethpage Bridge, which crosses the Elk River, Colonel Moore of the 104th detailed 10 men to storm the blockade and the bridge. They stormed the bridge quickly under heavy fire as the Confederates began to burn the bridge. Amazingly, there was no casualties, and they shot into the stockade, scattering the rebels, some jumping into the swollen river. The fire was put out by Company B, and the bridge was saved. And for this, Holland received the Medal of Honor. Sergeant Holland died in 1914 in Decatur, Macon County, Illinois, and he's buried here at Greenwood Cemetery, Decatur, Macon County, Illinois. This is the final resting place of Pitt Bruce Harrington, born in 1841 in Hillsdale County, Michigan. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is the battle map of the Atlanta campaign. This is courtesy of Wikipedia and the article on the Atlanta campaign. I'm going to read an excerpt from the article on the Atlanta campaign from Wikipedia. I'll leave a link in the description below to the article if you want to read it in its entirety. So after they left Pickett's Mill, when Sherman first found Johnson entrenched in the Marietta area on June 9, he began extending his lines beyond the Confederate lines, causing some Confederate withdrawal to new positions. On June 14, Lieutenant General Leonidas Polk was killed in an artillery shell while scouting enemy positions with Hardee and Johnson, and was temporarily replaced by Major General William W. Loring. On June 18 to 19, Johnston, fearing envelopment, moved his army to a new previously selected position astride Kennesaw Mountain, an entrenched arc-shaped line to the west of Marietta, to protect his supply line, the Western and Atlantic Railroad. Sherman made some unsuccessful attacks on this position, but eventually extended the line to the right and forced Johnson to withdraw from Marietta area on July 2 to the 3rd. So, on June 15, during all this maneuvering, as Sherman was chasing Johnson toward Kennesaw Mountain, the 11th Iowa, Harrington, and the 11th Iowa found themselves in the 17th Corps under Major General Francis Blair, and which was, of course, in General Sherman's division of the Tennessee, found themselves on the extreme left flank of this pursuit of Johnson to Kennesaw Mountain. Sometime during all this maneuvering, someone from the 11th Iowa Infantry was shot in front of Confederate lines, and Harrington and another companion went and retrieved this wounded individual while the Confederates were firing at him. And for this, Harrington received the Medal of Honor. I will leave a link in the description below to HistoryTube's History Gone Wilder and his animated battle map of the Atlanta campaign. Harrington died in 1919 in Wapella, DeWitt County, Illinois, and he's buried here. Memorial Park Cemetery, Clinton, DeWitt County, Illinois. This is the final resting place of Peter J. Ryan, born in 1844 in Tipperary County, Tipperary, Ireland. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this YouTube channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is a battle map of the 3rd Battle of Winchester, courtesy of the Wikipedia article on the 3rd Battle of Winchester. I will leave a link in the description below if you want to read the article in its entirety. So, the task of the 1st Division of the 19th Corps, which included Private Ryan and the 11th Indiana, their task was to attack First Woods during this battle. It was during this attack that Private Ryan and a companion captured 14 Confederate soldiers in the severest part of the battle. And thus, he received the Medal of Honor. I will leave a link in the description below from the Blue and the Gray Education Society, their discussion on the 3rd Battle of Winchester. I will also leave a link to a Wide Awake Films vid on the Shenandoah Campaign, the 1864 Shenandoah Campaign. Private Ryan died in 1908 in Terre Haute, Vigo County, Indiana. And he's buried here at Calvary Cemetery, Terre Haute, Vigo County, Indiana. This is the final resting place of John Tenbrook Sterling. Born in 1841 in Edgar County, Illinois. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this YouTube channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. This is the battle map of the Third Battle of Winchester. This is courtesy of the Shenandoah Valley Battlefield Foundation. I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. So in September 1864, Sterling, the 11th Indiana, underneath the 19th Corps, found themselves here at the Third Battle of Winchester. And Jay Richardson of the Shenandoah Valley Battlefield Foundation quotes from Scott Patchen's The Last Battle of Winchester. This is where the action occurred. The 11th was under attack by General Terry, Virginia, and General Zebulon York's Louisianans. Mullinex rallied Massachusetts and New York regiments to assist. The New Yorkers, in a line, was recently perpendicular to the 11th Indiana. The New Yorkers faced toward the left flank of the attacking Confederate, heading toward Bradbury's 4th Guns on the 11th Indiana. And that's where the where that lock is on the map, the green lock. That's about where the 11th Indiana was. When they saw the backs of the Southerners from New York's and Terry's brigades, the blue line poured a fire into the enemy that made them obliterate further to the right, oblique to the right. There, the 11th and the mixture of troops from Sharp's and Mullinex brigades triggered a volley, charged, and dove into the Confederates' back. They did not get far. The gritty Southerners halted in ravines and timber, turned and opened fire at the approaching Northerners. The vicious and prolonged firefight ensured that the Union advance halted, but Emory and Mullinex had restored the line. Now, the write-up for Sterling's Medal of Honor says, with one companion, captured 14 of the enemy in the severest part of the battle. And Richardson speculates that is at this point that this happened. That when Mullinex reforming the line in the middle field, that's when he captured the Confederates and received the Medal of Honor. Corporal Sterling died in 1920 in West Terre Haute, Vigo County, Indiana, and he's buried here at Bethesda Cemetery, Sugar Creek Township, Vigo County, Indiana. This is the final resting place of John S. Darrow, born in 1841 in Maysville, Kentucky. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this channel via my PayPal. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is a map of Eastport, Mississippi. I'm going to read a portion of the article, the Wikipedia article on John Darrow. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to this article if you want to read it in its entirety. So on October 10, 1864, the 113th Illinois Volunteer Infantry was dispatched to from Memphis, Tennessee, to Eastport, Mississippi, to destroy train tracks and a bridge used by the Confederates. The regiment was transported up the Mississippi and Tennessee by 2 steam-powered gunboats. as the men disembarked from the boats onto the south bank of the Tennessee River, just downstream of Eastport, which would have been in this general area. They came under fire from a concealed battery of Confederate artillery. The battery was at close range, and its fire proved devastating to both men and boats. The gunboat immediately withdrew from the shore without having time to take up the gangplanks. The men on shore, including Darrell, were now stranded and under intense fire. As one boat engaged the Confederates, the other proceeded downstream, and after reaching a point which was partly out of range of their artillery, pulled alongside the shore and took on all soldiers who had reached that point. Darrell was unable to reach the boat in time and was again stranded as it pulled away from the shore. He continued to follow the riverboat downstream, so it was headed this way, until a deep bayou blocked his path. Deciding that his only option was to avoid being killed or captured, was to swim the mile-wide river, and knowing that his closing guns would weigh him down, he began looking for a log to float on. As he searched the bank, he found a canoe hidden in the reeds. Overjoyed, he jumped in and paddled out of the river, hoping to either catch up with the gunboats, which had headed downstream, or cross to the other side of the river and rejoin the Union forces by foot. As he paddled, he looked back and noticed a Union man struggling in the water along the Confederate-held shoreline. The soldier, Captain A.W. Beckett of Company B, had attempted to cross the bayou, but part way through found himself too weak to continue. Beckett had been ill and left his sickbed to participate in the mission. Despite the risk, Darrell turned his canoe around and headed back toward the Confederate and struggling man. He succeeded in getting Beckett onto the canoe and then safely reached the opposite shore. For his actions, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. Sergeant Darrell died in 1920 in Watseka, Illinois. He's buried here at the Grand Army of the Republic Cemetery, Watseka, Iroquois County, Illinois. This is the final resting place of Louis Fife. Born in 1841 in Des Moines County, Iowa, he's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider supporting this channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is a map of the Arizona Territory in 1869. This is courtesy of the Charlotte Museum in Prescott, Arizona. So about this time, there's a lot of mining operations going on in this area, and the natives were constantly attacking them. So the Army was tasked to set up some forts to protect these mining operations. And Sergeant Fife, in Company B of the 8th U.S. Cavalry, was tasked with establishing and patrolling this wagon route between La Paz and Prescott, Arizona, to supply the forts as they protected these mining facilities. The write-up says, from August to October of 1868, Sergeant Fife, as an advanced scout for his troop, was constantly in the saddle patrolling for hostile Apache Indians. For gallantry in the face of the enemy, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. I'll leave a link in the description below to the website to the Charlotte Museum of Prescott, Arizona. Sergeant Fife died in 1913 in Weaver, Lee County, Iowa, and he's buried here at Tierney Cemetery, Weaver, Lee County, Iowa. This is the final resting place of John Henry Helms, born in 1874 in Chicago, Cook County, Illinois. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this YouTube channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So there's a map of Montevideo, Uruguay on 1901. Helms and the USS Chicago found themselves here. I'm going to read a portion of the Wikipedia article on Helms. I'll post it in the comments below if you want to read the entire article. Helms served as a sergeant aboard the USS Chicago, the flagship of the South Atlantic Squadron. On January 10, 1901, the Chicago was anchored in the harbor of Montevideo, Uruguay, and the crew was allowed to go swimming. One sailor, Warrant Officer Stuart Ishii Tamizi, began struggling in the water and was in imminent danger of drowning. Helms jumped overboard in full uniform and saved the man. For his actions, Helms was awarded the Medal of Honor, although his nomination was not without controversy. Non-combat awards had been authorized by statute since 1861, but fell under greater scrutiny in the 20th century after the Army expressly required combat action in its first regulations of 1889. Later, Congress imposed the requirement on the Navy by statute in 1919, although the Navy then chose to follow the earlier law, which permitted non-combat awards on the medal until the statute was finally repealed in 1963. The last non-combat Navy Medal of Honor was awarded in 1945. Although the Department of the Navy attempted to award a non-combat Medal of Honor as late as the Korean War, the non-combat Medal of Honor was eventually replaced with the Navy and Marine Corps Medal. Helms was first recommended for the Medal of Honor by Chicago's Captain Charles Rockwell. The nomination was endorsed by Admiral Winfield Scott Shiley, commander of the South Atlantic Squadron, and forwarded to the Bureau of Navigation, which was in charge of personal affairs. The Bureau Chief, Admiral Arndt Crowninshield, advised that the nomination be rejected. Crowninshield believed that since the Chicago had been an anchor in calm seas, Helms' action did not put himself in danger and not constitute extraordinary heroism. The Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Charles Haywood, felt otherwise, stating that Helms displayed extraordinary heroism by saving the lives at the risk of his own. The final decision was made by Secretary of the Navy John Davis Long. Long agreed to Crowninshield that the rescue of Tamizi by itself was not sufficient of the decoration, but added that Helms' previous rescue of Gallagher and endorsements by Admiral Shaley and General Haywood were enough to warrant the medal. Crownshield's opposition to the award led to the accusation of snobbishness, with the Baltimore American alleging that Helms' nomination had been objected to because he was not a commissioned officer. Sergeant Helms died in 1919 in La Vega, Dominican Republic, and he's buried here at Mound Grove Cemetery, Kankakee County, Illinois. This is the final resting place of John F. Thorson Jr., born in 1920 in Armstrong, Emmett County, Iowa. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. Before I continue, I'd like to thank you for watching this vid. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Please consider contributing to this YouTube channel via my PayPal account. The link is in the homepage of this YouTube channel. So this is a battle map of the invasion of Leyte during World War II. This is courtesy of the Wikipedia article on the 7th Division. So the 7th Division's task on October 26, 1944, with Private Thorson was to clear out all the defenses on Leyte. So when the 7th Division approached Dagamai, Thorson went out ahead of his group to single-handedly attack a rifle pit position. And in this attack, he was wounded. So when he got close, when his fellow troopers got close to him to rescue him, a Japanese soldier threw a grenade. Thorson rolled over onto the grenade to protect his fellow troopers. The grenade went off and Thorson was instantly killed. For this, he received the Medal of Honor for his actions. I will leave a link to the MacArthur Foundation's discussion on the invasion of Leyte in the description below. Private First Class Thorson died in 1944 at Leyte Province in the Philippines. He's buried here at the Keokuk National Cemetery, Keokuk, Lee County, Iowa.